So I guess our story begins when our daughter Evie was diagnosed with autism when she was 2 years old. At that point, we didn't know anyone with autism. We didn't know anyone with kids with autism. We didn't know any adults with autism. So we were like, okay, what does that mean? What do we do? So the preschool that Evie was at, there was a social worker that was working with us that helped us get in touch with some resources. And we were able to get Evie an RBT to be with her 8 hours a day at her preschool. Well, that apparently just didn't work for the preschool. It wasn't enough. So we were told that when she turned 3, that she could no longer attend that preschool. We had heard about the Learning Center from a family friend whose son attends the Learning Center, and what an amazing place it is. And so we went for a tour and we're just absolutely blown away. I was like, this is incredible. This just blew my mind. I didn't know such a school existed. And so I was like, okay, we gotta get her on the waiting list. And so we filled out the application, we put her on the waiting list, and we just crossed our fingers. And so in the meantime, because she wasn't gonna be able to continue at her preschool, we put her at the public school that we were zoned for with an autism program. That was the full autism program that they offer. In the afternoons, I would frequently get text messages saying that she was crying because she didn't want to nap, and the other children were napping and she was disturbing them. And one text, the teacher asked if she could give her Cheetos to kind of distract her while the other kids were napping. And I was like, sure, absolutely. So it was hard. So a month into school, when we got the email from the Learning Center saying that Evie was off the wait list, they had a spot for her, we were like, yes, we accept. And we couldn't wait for her to start. We were so excited. And the transition was amazing. The teachers, everyone, the staff, the therapists were just absolutely incredible.
I think that after looking at doing that tour for the school and seeing what resources the school here had, we were really impressed. And then kind of going back to the public school, we understood, we saw very clearly that unfortunately the public school program is under-resourced. You know, the teacher was wonderful, the classroom was nice, and they did the best they could with what they had, but it just wasn't enough. And it really doesn't compare to what TLC can offer the students here. From going from being in that same room all day long to coming to TLC, where she goes out to her art classes, her technology class, to gym. I mean, she has all these different enriching activities, to having all these special events where they brought ice to the school, right? Snow, train rides, and inflatables, right? That was, you know, I think she loved that. I think all the kids love it. So it's something that I don't know that you find in other places. She's on the cheer team. Actually, they started clubs this year, right? So she's on the cheer team. Chorus, yeah, she loves to dance.
And the drama club.
Yes.
Yeah, and in art club. She's quite the artist.
Mm-hmm. She is. So it's really kind of brought her out. You know, I think when she started here, she couldn't speak. And shortly thereafter, you know, she said mom for the first time.
Yeah, so yeah, a couple months later, she said mama. For the first time, and I was just like, wow. I was so excited because as a mom, I feel like you wait for that day when your child says mama, and you know, as our first, and never hearing that, and she finally said it was just amazing. And then, you know, several months later, spring, so that was in November of the year she started last year, and then come spring break, I took her to the library for an event, and she was writing her name. When she started, she couldn't say her name, she couldn't spell her name, she most definitely couldn't write it. And she was writing her name. She could say it, she could spell it, and she was writing it. And it was just absolutely incredible. And when we send her to school every day, we're not just sending her to school to be educated, which we are, but we're sending her to school to learn life skills as well as to be loved and cared for, because the individuals that work here, it's not just a job for them. You can see it when they look at her, when they work with her, the passion they have, the way they care about her and the other students. It's incredible. That's not just something you can teach somebody. That's just an innate quality that the individuals that work here have. And I cannot thank them enough for loving and caring and educating our daughter the way that they have. And I can't imagine having her, be successful anywhere else as she is here. It's just an incredible place. We're very, very thankful.
Yeah.